turn your phones off and your safety catchers on. Please welcome me, lovely artist, fantastic Joe Ford! All the way over here, Joe Ford, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, Hampton. To stick with the theme about we all love dogs, I actually got to know this area by dog sitting in this exact area, and it's lovely. It's like a secret beach around here, isn't it? You don't know about it. You don't tell anyone about it, do you? It's like nice little secret beach. I love it. But it's funny actually because Bob Violent is, believe this or not, my neighbour. Dead serious, and in fact he'd threatened me before, so I could have guessed he was a nasty piece of work. Okay, so that's quite funny. Anyway, I just thought, I don't know, I thought I'd best comment on this. Like, now, you know what they say? They say dress for the job you want, don't they? Have you heard them say that? Yeah, this job, this dress has just got me fired for gross misconduct. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. But I am blaming the outfit, all right? It's nothing to do with me. Or, that's what I'm saying. No, they say dress for the job you want, but look, much like this rather clever lady here, I don't aspire to work. You know what I mean? I don't even aspire. Can the retired give us a cheer? Yeah, you lucky bugs. That's what I aspire to being retired, right? So it's not even that I don't even aspire to being working class, right? Because my dad was in prison when I was born, and I'm fairly sure that's how you become a member of the criminal underclass. That and the crime, obviously, which I'm not supposed to talk about, to be fair. Especially as there's that gross misconduct case coming up. So, no, it's fine. They say, yes, I don't even aspire to be working class. But like, the funny thing is, right, actually, my dad, it's an interesting story, right? He was actually born in a concentration camp, and he came to the UK as a refugee. He'd probably like me to stress legally. I'll just say back before it was politically toxic. That's, yeah, it was quite a while back. But yeah, no, he thrived here. So it's a nice story. He thrived here. He thrived in education, so much he graduated straight to Borstal. And from there he went straight to prison and never worked a day in his life. And that's how I know he didn't come to steal anyone's job. He didn't aspire to work, my dad. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, do you know what I mean? I don't aspire to work. But it's funny because he really did blend in. He did. He acclimatised to the British culture so well. He actually voted for Brexit and became a racist. Yeah, so I think he really was one of us. He died fairly recently, and I know that he'd be happy if I could just get 5 minutes material out of his death. That he didn't die in vain. But unfortunately, it turns out it's true what they say, that crime doesn't pay, because all I inherited was 2 burner phones and 3 fake IDs. Right? Would have been nice if any of them had been in credit. They were not. So yeah, my dad's a bit of a problematic character, do you know what I mean? A foreign racist. But it's fine, it's all right. He's a dead immigrant now, so the Daily Mail's favourite. It's all right, he's dead. I did try to invite him. He's still on Facebook, but he's ghosted me again, the bugger. But he's not the only problematic member of my family. The other one's my mum. She's here, this evening, and the main problem is she's still alive and she does own things. So she's still. I've actually moved back in with her to try and sort of gently get her to hand the house keys over. Do you know what I mean? She's just clinging on to those assets. It's rude. But no, the most problematic thing about my mum is actually that she is 78, right? That's not the problematic thing, that's pretty. But her fella is only 41. Right. That's not a joke, she's just a fucking legend, right? And I never go tired of saying that, but it does give me a problem, because it means if I want to be as successful a cougar as my mother, I've got to wait for those people to finish primary school. That's a bit wrong, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And it's awkward because I've just started dating a slightly older gentleman, Dave in the corner. And what it means is that when we go out as a foursome, nobody knows who's fucking who. Nobody's got a clue. Like, it's awkward. You know what I mean? They're just like, what is the family? What is the dynamic here? It's odd, yeah. So that's my. But all of my, it's worse than that. It's not just my family. Like all of my relationships, all of my relations, all problematic. Like it will not surprise you to know that middle-aged woman doing stand-up. Obviously, I'm divorced. Of course I am. Of course I am. So like it's funny though. I bumped into my ex-husband a while back, and he told me that he'd been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I thought, oh yeah, okay, so it was you. I suspected as much. But to be honest, I was happy for him because it meant he finally developed a personality. Do you know what I mean? It's a win for him. But so I've got a type, and then so I got dumped a couple of years ago, and I'm not bitter, but I am now gonna do some really horrible material about him. No, it's fine. He dumped me. He made me homeless. But the worst thing is that he was also my drug dealer. Yeah, so now I have to pay for drugs, so that's unfortunate, which is why I can't afford to go to Glastonbury. But like, it's fine. He was one of those, I don't know if you know the ones, like, he was one of those 5'7" guys. You know the ones I mean? The ones that are 5'5". Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah. It's fine, you can just sort of leapfrog over them. I had hoped straight onto the next dick, but no. No. Catching a dick in your 40s is tough. It's changed. There's a lot of men on the online dating profiles just showing 2/3 of their head. I'm not a detective, but I think they could be bald, you know. It's funny. But yeah, no. So the thing about my ex, don't worry, he won't see this. He hasn't subscribed to my YouTube channel. Doesn't matter how many times I send him the link. Which is annoying because I have fucked all 14 of the other subscribers. And I'm not saying I definitely will fuck you, but it's at JOPHEURE on YouTube, and if you do subscribe, just slide into my DMs, yeah? And Dave will knock your teeth out. Right, no, so it's annoying that he hasn't seen it, but so he won't see it, so it's safe. I can say this, and we're in a safe space, it's fine. The thing is, right, he had these tiny, tiny little balls. And I really liked it. Like, it didn't matter what he did, I could still breathe. Kind of almost romantic. But I did worry. I was like, is it okay to like baby balls? Literally baby balls. But I checked, it's fine, it's a loophole. It's just like a shaved fanny, as long as it's on an adult. That's the rule. We knew it, didn't we? We did know that. We did. Yeah, it's the rules. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so yeah, it's all changed, doesn't it? Though. So I've been doing a bit of dating, and when I say doing a bit of dating, what I mean is I've been a full-time slut for about 2 years. Like, you know, because like the thing is, right? There's science in it. So what I would say is, like, to catch a dick in your 40s, what you have to do, some tips here, ladies, as you know, as you get older, what you have to do is you just have to lower your standards. That's what you do. But the difficulty with that is, if you didn't really have any standards to start with, you know, it's like, I've always said I only wanted a man to have his own hair, his own teeth, and his own job. And so that's not a lot of standard. That's not a lot, is it? What can I get rid of? And I was like, you know what, at this point, 2 out of 3, I'll take it. So Dave and I are going to go to Turkey and get him some new teeth. No, I'm joking. Like, no, it's fine. I'm joking. The most thing, no, what I've actually learned is there's deeper things that are more important than own hair, own teeth, own job. And none of that really matters as long as he's got a big dick. So thank you, Dave. No, it's funny because like my ex used to say, he's just one of those guys that he was a bit sexist, and if a woman came on the telly and she was expressing an opinion about anything really, he would go, you know what she needs? She needs a good seeing too. And I thought it was very sexist, but thanks to Dave, I had recently had a good seeing too. It's fucking life-changing, isn't it? I am absolutely not bitter at all now. It's changed me, it really has. But like, I've learned a few things. So like, you know, the dating scene has changed a lot. Like, the young people are doing things very differently. It's a very different landscape. Like, so I've noticed that a lot of young people are taking pride in their sex lives. They're celebrating Pride. I think it's lovely. I'm really happy for them. But my demographic is pale, male and stale. So you can be fairly confident that my sex drive is driven by shame. Do you know what I mean? And the other thing the youngsters are doing is this positive affirmative consent, which, oh God, I can't think of anything worse. Like, if you have to say no, if you have to ask, it's definitely a no, isn't it? Like, I can't honestly think of anything that would dry me up quicker than a man constantly asking if it's still all right for him to carry on doing what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? Stop, please. Please stop talking, darling. No, it's not good. But I thought before I start my comedy career, I'd wait till all of my opinions have become slightly unpopular. Because it's much harder to shut me up when I'm on a stage with a microphone. So for example, I'm a big fan of a 70s muff. I feel like in this room I might not be the only one. Yeah. It's not really a fashion choice. I'm just too fat to shave it. And I mean, to be honest, it's more like, so, you know, having spent those years, my slut years, like, you just think to yourself, it's absolutely not worth making any effort for these randoms, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point? You just think there's no point. Like, I mean, the problem with lowering your standards, there's a downside, you know, like very quickly you're being ghosted by a bloke with 2 teeth who lives in a van. And you think to yourself, I thought he was a catch. What is a keeper? Right. Yeah, it's awkward, it really is. No, and the other unpopular opinion is that I used to be a feminist, right? But I've got to be honest, it was before it was a hashtag, and I'm over it now. Like, basically, they offered us a lot of things, and I think it was a bit of a swizz, to be honest. Like, they promised us financial freedom. They were like, no, women deserve financial freedom. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So I was like, Daddy, you don't need to pay my bills with the proceeds of crime. I'm going to go get myself some financial freedom. They meant a job, didn't they? Absolute swizz. Right, and the other one, and again, this one you think it sounds good. Like, you'll probably go, yeah, no, that does sound good. It's better. No. Sexual liberation. Yeah, sounded good. I was excited. I was like, oh yeah, let me go and get some sexual liberation. In your 20s it is fun, okay? But in your 40s it's just another job. And at this point I'm struggling to find a voluntary position. Do you know what I mean? I don't have the energy for a day job and a night job, and I don't have the aptitude to work. Like, before I got sacked for the crimes, basically they put me on this thing. I found my calling, and I know what you're saying. You knew it wasn't comedy. But I found my calling, so they paid me to do nothing for a month. Yeah, that's my dream job. I want more of that. So I'm going to go get another job and commit more gross misconduct. That is the plan. Almost as immediately as I get in. Just, right, okay, what can I nick? I'm getting sacked. Love it. That way I can get paid to do nothing. That's my career strategy. Yeah, no, I found my calling. But no, so it turns out, like, you know, I mean, I've done a few things, like, you know, the tips, I'll say, you know, there's the standards one, then there's the slutting around. But the only other thing I thought, you know what, I'm struggling to find a man, and I wasn't getting the dates. So I thought, what I'll do, my looks are fading, I'll try and develop a personality. Yeah. It didn't work out. It turns out I'm a cunt. And what's really upsetting is yesterday, I'm not joking, yesterday someone put a note in my car, because yes, I have a roofless BMW, so yes, I am a cunt, that's how you know, right? And someone put a note saying that on the seat of my car, and I wanted to bring it as evidence to be like, absolutely not just my opinion, someone has backed up this fact, but I've left it at home because I'm a cunt. Anyway, thank you very much, Hampton. Is that right? Do you think of yourself as Hampton? Are we definitely in Hampton, or is this Stud Hill? Thank you all very much for your time. I've been Joe Ford.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Ford! Paul apparently likes the 70s muff. Just check that out.